Okay, next I have DJ, I'm sorry, Harula? Close enough? Yeah, I know you just told me how to say that and I messed it up, so I apologize for that.
I'm respectful of the time constraints. It's the first time I've addressed the board, and I've got 2.5 pages to read here, so I'd appreciate you giving me some slack to get through all of what I've prepared. I do want to address you. Again, my name is DJ Harula. I want to address you on behalf of myself and my family, my daughter Caitlin, who is a student at Webster. And I want to talk primarily about incidents in the previous school year. Before I do that, I do want to bring to your attention a concern that I have for ongoing staffing in the kindergarten classroom at Webster for this year. Something that I've discussed with the building administrator, also with the classroom teacher. Teachers in there are dealing with a very challenging environment, a mix of students. I see a lot of stress every time I come in, and frankly, I think it would be well advised for the parties that are responsible to look into that and to ask the teacher in that room directly if she would like additional assistance. She will tell you yes, and you should pursue that from RISA as quickly as you can. I feel like you're playing with fire in that room. I'm here to address the board on the abuse that took place in Sharon Turbiak's classroom at Webster Elementary beginning at least as early as the fall of 2011 and perhaps as early as the 2010-2011 school year and prior. My daughter Caitlin was a student in that classroom and suffered abuse, mistreatment, and neglect at the hands of her teacher Sharon Turbiak, her parapro Nancy Respondic. Caitlin also suffered at the hands of every member of her teaching and therapy staff, and frankly, this administration, when collectively you failed to report the abuse to authorities. Her rights were violated along with the rights of the other students in Sharon Turbiak's classroom. This matter is of no doubt familiar to you. I won't use my limited time tonight to go into the details of what took place and how the entire situation was incomprehensibly mismanaged by every level of this district's administration. The details are there, you can find them for yourself. However, if you are not thoroughly and completely aware of the details of this matter, then I strongly urge you to take some initiative and get informed. The same goes for any person in attendance or somebody who is watching this meeting by way of video. Special needs students, including my daughter Caitlin, were abused in a classroom of the Livonia Public Schools. And that abuse was perpetuated by the incompetence and inaction of teachers, therapists, building administrators, and staff at central office. There's plenty of blame to go around. If you care about the future of this district, if you care about students, you owe it to yourself to seek out a copy of the report and read it. Then share it with your family, neighbors, and friends, anyone in the community who will listen to you, and consider the horror of what happened here, and think about the steps required to ensure that this never happens again. I became aware of this issue with Sharon Turbiak and her classroom after a call from the principal, Shelley Moore, on May 3rd, 2012. I want you to note that that was a full 10 days after Sharon Turbiak was placed on administrative leave. Shelley called with no additional details, and we were instructed to be in contact with Mark Schultz, who was investigating the matter. We met with Mark Schultz on May 7th. So Shelley called on a Thursday. We met with Mark on a Monday. That was a long weekend, folks. After being briefed by Mark Schultz, I met immediately with the principal and later that afternoon with the superintendent. I expressed my outrage, not only for the abuse, but the manner in which the district seemed to be responding to it. There was no evidence of any kind of crisis communication plan or a dignified way of contacting us families. As unbelievable as it may seem, nearly 3 weeks passed before I received any formal information from the district. That in itself was stunning and frankly revealed a lot about what we could ultimately expect from the school district through this whole process. If a student is in a classroom and another student has lice or strep throat or communicable disease, a note goes home to parents immediately. But something like this happens, and my special needs, largely nonverbal 5-year-old at the time daughter is abused, and nothing, no formal information of any kind. As I mentioned over many months, the details leaked out, and thank God the truth always seems to find a way to bubble to the surface. As I mentioned in each conversation that I had with the superintendent and various staff at central office, I'm a patient man. My wife, Becky, is a 17-year veteran teacher of this district. Give some perspective. I'm not a crank. I'm not here just to complain for the sake of complaining or because it makes me feel good. I would rather not be here this evening. And it certainly complicates matters for us, knowing that my wife works for this district, and our trust had been so greatly violated. The point is that together, my wife and I value education, and we are not insensitive to the complexities involved in managing a district like Livonia. You have tough jobs, I'll give you that. This is a big school district. For my part, I was willing to give the district some space to sort out the details and consider where it had failed and what needed to be corrected. But with the release of the district's report and accompanying materials last week, I tell you now that my patience is at an end. I have no more patience for a district that is unwilling to clean its own house before chasing maybe an albeit necessary $300 million bond proposal. I have no patience for a dysfunctional school board that refuses to ask tough questions, demand answers, and begin an independent investigation, including public hearings on this matter. Let me say that I don't know any of you. This isn't personal. For all I know, each of you may be a great husband or a wife or a mother or a father or a friend. I don't care about any of that. It's immaterial here. With respect to your leadership roles in this district and this matter, you are abject failures. And I don't point that out to rub your noses in it. I point it out because beyond all comprehension, that reality seems to have eluded you. Livonia Public Schools failed my daughter, Caitlin. One thing a school district exists to provide, a safe and productive learning environment for its students, all of its students, yes, even the special needs kids, you failed to provide. And in fact, your actions guaranteed that it wouldn't be provided. My question in all of this is simple. Where is your expressed outrage? Where is your contrition? Where is your concern first and foremost with these students? And with all of the students in the district? What I have seen at each milestone in this train wreck so far is a district that is following the advice of its lawyers at the expense of reason, common sense, and general decency. You are seemingly more concerned about protecting your reputation than you are about doing the right thing. And here's the problem with that. What you fail to recognize is that reputations are built by doing exactly that, doing the right thing. So I want to suggest to you that this is your moment. Step up. Step up for these kids and come back to a defensible set of principles. Stop listening to your lawyers who tell you that they can make all of this go away. The reality is that lawsuits and settlements stemming from horrific things like abuse in a special needs classroom or a bus aide beating special needs students, as was the case in this district not too long ago, these things aren't a cost of doing business. They are a sign of a failed culture, a culture of suppression, fear, and cowardice. And it is well past time for you to live up to your responsibilities and effect positive and lasting change. That's the only thing that will satisfy me. In short, I want to see a new way of running this district that ensures kids are the first priority, so that what happened at Webster will never happen again. Finally, apologize to my daughter, Caitlin. And not the kind of apology that says, hey, we're sorry that this happened. Because believe me, we are all sorry that this happened. Rather, make a true apology that acknowledges how much worse this situation became because of failures by your teachers, your therapists, and your administrators. This community must hold you accountable. The rule of law in our country is a system of checks and balances. And my sense is that when things like this happen in Livonia Public Schools, I see a lot of checks being written, but I don't see any balance being delivered in the form of pushback from this board. Let me make myself clear. You, not the news media, not angered parents or outraged friends and neighbors, but you. You have the responsibility to initiate the kinds of reform that are required to fix the culture and climate at Livonia Public Schools. And until you get that done, might I suggest to you that literally nothing else on your agenda tonight or any other night matters. Get some courage. Grab the gavel and adjourn this meeting and get to work.